let's go over these together. じゃあ、週末は暇でした。That works. Okay. 私は忙しかったです。天気は寒かったです。はい。That works. Okay. 週末、spelling. 週末は美味しい食べ物を食べました。There you go. That's a different way to use an adjective. That's great. Yeah, you can use 美味しい食べ物. You can use it to modify a noun, just like in English. Right. And then 週末は忙しかったです。Right. Any questions?
Just since I haven't been here, should I also change? Because I write like in the book.
Yeah. Well,
Start
we've
writing
been
like
practicing writing this way for the sake of getting comfortable with both, because Japanese people switch back and forth between the two without seeming to have any thought about one being difficult and the other being easy.
I don't write vertical on the board. I write horizontal.
Well, vertical on the board also helps with space. I mean, it's not an issue with this size class, but when we had 20 people in the room, it actually allowed for more people to be on the board at once to write their sentences at the same time. So it's convenience as well. Hey.
When referencing the weather, you would use ga, correct? Or instead of in place of wa, or like it was the weather is cold. You use
You can.
ga.
The wa-ga thing is very hard to pin down,
Okay.
and so I hesitate to say that that's the only thing that works, because I think wa can work depending on the circumstances.
Okay.
So,
I'll just give up on
for now, I would suggest that you don't worry too much about the wa-ga thing unless we're actually talking about a specific instance where I'm teaching you a rule that's definite, because there are so many permutations of usage of wa versus ga. Okay, so speaking of which, let's get into our vocabulary practice and then go on from there. So we're going to conjugate the verbs and adjectives as we go, and do the ones through, and then we will do the 3x3 after that without conjugating. So this is taberu, which means to eat. Tabemasu, tabemasen, tabemashita, tabemasen deshita. Iku, to go. Ikimasu, ikimasen, ikimashita, ikimasen deshita. Nomu, to drink. Nomimasu, nomimasen, nomimashita, nomimasen deshita. Miru, to see. Yep. Mimasu, mimasen, mimashita, mimasen deshita. Yaru, to do or perform. Yarimasu, yarimasen, yarimashita, yarimasen deshita. Kiku, to ask, yes. Kikimasu, kikimasen, kikimashita, kikimasen deshita. Noru, to ride or board, to board. Okay. Norimasu, norimasen, norimashita, norimasen deshita. Okay. Dekakeru, to go out. Dekakemasu, dekakemasen, dekakemashita, dekakemasen deshita. Okay. Oyogu, swim. Oyogimasu, oyogimasen, oyogimashita, oyogimasen deshita. Okay. Tenki, weather. Okay, nothing to conjugate there. Tenki, weather.
男の人、man、
Man. はい。
今日、today、
はい。
山、mountain、
はい。
川、river、
はい。
女の人、woman、
はい。女の人。Yes.
田中さん、Mr.
はい。
山田さん、Mr. Mrs.
はい。
今、now、
はい。
Yasumi vacation.
はい。
My shitsu.
はい。
Umi.
はい。
Kipu ticket.
はい。
Shukudai homework.
はい。
Testo test.
はい。
beverage.
はい。
Sorekara and then
はい。
Sugoku extreme.
はい。
Donna which type?
はい。
Hikoki
Airplane.
Airplane. はい。
Boku I masculine.
はい。
Yoko
travel.
はい。
Made until
はい。
Kite
Stamp.
Stamp. はい。で is a stamp.
Safin survey.
はい。
Tabemono food.
はい。
Tenki weather.
はい。
Hadaki
postcard.
はい。
Daijoubu.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it, or okay, or all right, 大丈夫。はい。
Tanjobi birthday.
Birthday. はい。
Nigiyakana.
Bustling, lively, and the conjugation, nigiyaka desu, nigiyaka janai desu, nigiyaka deshika, nigiyaka janakatta desu. Right?
Kirai no.
はい。
Strongly dislike.
Strong hate.
はい。Yes. So, 大嫌いです。大嫌いじゃないです。大嫌いでした。大嫌いじゃなかったです。はい。 Shizukana is quiet or peaceful. So, shizuka desu, shizuka janai desu, shizuka deshita, shizuka janakatta desu. Ne? Kireina is
Pretty.
pretty, beautiful, clean. Okay. Kirei desu, kirei janai desu, kirei deshita, kirei janakatta desu. Right. Kawaii, scary. And notice which kind of adjective? E. So we conjugate this one. Kawaii desu, kawakunai desu, kawakatta desu, kawakunakatta desu. Right.
Tanoshii.
Fun. Good. Tanoshii desu, tanoshikunai desu, tanoshikatta desu, tanoshikunakatta desu. Right.
Atsui.
Hot. Hi. Hot. Well, actually, atsui can be both hot
That-
weather
I see
and
weather
hot
or-
temperature. Yeah. Yeah.
In my, sorry.
Okay. So, atsui desu, atsukunai desu, atsukatta desu, atsukunakatta desu. Right. Chisai,
Small.
chisai desu, chisakunai desu, chisakatta desu, chisakunakatta desu. Right.
Oki.
Big. Big. So, ookii desu, ookikunai desu, ookikatta desu, ookikunakatta desu. Right. Tsumaranai. Boring, yes. Tsumaranai desu, tsumaranakunai desu, tsumaranakatta desu, tsumaranakunakatta desu. Yes, it sounds almost redundant, tsumaranakunai desu. but
Would it
that's-
be all right if you drew the like positive, negative, tense, like 4-quadrant chart on the board just to like mentally
Okay, sure.
keep track of it?
Yep. Okay, so, let's see, so, des, right? And then kunai des, okay? And then katta des, and then kuna katta des. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then
Very
you,
much.
whatever the E adjective is, right? So if you were gonna do it with tsumaranai, for example, tsumaranai desu, right? Tsumaranakunai desu. Tsumaranakatta desu. Tsumaranakunakatta desu. Do you see how that worked? And the base form is tsumaranai, right? You see how that works? Okay.
Thank you.
Doing that with the long ones takes longer to write out, but it's probably good practice because the long ones are the hardest ones to remember how to do just because you start thinking you've got too many syllables in there, right? Especially tsumaranai, it's just so awkward to say tsumaranakunai desu and tsumaranakunakatta desu. So one good thing to do with those, especially these really long ones that are hard to pronounce, is write it out like that and then break it down and practice. Tsumaranakunakatta desu. Break it down, slow it way down, and then tsumaranakunai desu. Tsumaranakunakatta desu. Gradually speed it up. Okay, so tsumaranai desu, tsumaranakunai desu, tsumaranakatta desu, tsumaranakunakatta desu. Yes, it really is like that. Okay, and this one?
Omoshiroi.
Yeah, interesting. So omoshiroi desu, omoshirokunai desu, omoshirokatta desu, omoshirokunakatta desu. Right? Atarashi desu. Yeah, atarashi is new, so atarashi desu, atarashikunai desu, atarashikatta desu, atarashikunakatta desu. Right. Okay.
Genkina.
Right, genkina,
Energetic, healthy.
energetic and healthy, right? So genki desu, genki janai desu, genki deshita, genki janakatta desu. Right.
Himana.
Himana.
I'm
Right.
busy.
Yeah, not busy to have free time, right? So hima desu, hima janai desu, hima deshita, hima janakatta desu. Right? Right, daisuki na. So to love, yes. Daisuki desu, daisuki janai desu, daisuki deshita, daisuki janakatta desu. Do you need a grid like that for the non-adjectives, or you feel like you've got those? Those are easier? Partly because you already knew that pattern for nouns, because it's the same pattern as for nouns, right? And even the fact that it's called na adjectives and they've got a na on the end, it's kind of a clue that there's a connection there. Na, noun, and na is part of the word for noun in Japanese. Namae, that na, that kanji for na in namae is also in the kanji for meishi, which is a noun. It's the same kanji, even though it's a different reading. Okay, so daisuki we just did. Okay, next, suki. Sukina is to like, so suki desu, suki janai desu, suki deshita, suki janakatta desu. Okay. Genki shows up again, so genki na, so genki desu, genki janai desu, genki deshita, genki janakatta desu. Right.
Kirai.
Kirai na, so to dislike, to hate, right? So kirai desu, kirai janai desu, kirai deshita, kirai janakatta desu. Right.
Furui.
Furui is old, as in old things, right? So back to that pattern. Furui desu, furukunai desu, furukatta desu, furukunakatta desu. Right?
Yasashi.
Yasashi is kind about a person, easy about a thing to do, right? So, yasashi desu, yasashiku nai desu, yasashikatta desu, yasashikunakatta desu. Right? Samui, we all know that one, right? Cold. So, 今日は寒いです。寒くないです。寒かったです。寒くなかったです。So you could also say, for example, 昨日は寒かったです。Right? Okay.
Yasui.
Yasui is cheap and expensive. So, 安いです。安くないです。安かったです。安くなかったです。Okay? はい。難しい difficult 難しいです難しくないです難しかったです難しくなかったですはい more かっこいい irregular means cool or good looking okay so かっこいいですかっこよくないですかっこよかったですかっこよくなかったです So you gotta remember that かっこいい changes to the かっこよい form for the other three. Yeah, because E changes to yoi for the conjugations.
And it was just E and kakui.
Those are the only two in this chapter, and I don't know of any others offhand. Okay, E is normally the only irregular adjective there is, and kakui just happens to be a compound of noun kakko with the adjective E. Okay, and our final one
Isogashi.
means
Busy.
busy, yes, so isogashi desu, isogashiku nai desu, isogashikatta desu, isogashiku nakatta desu. はい、いいですね。Any questions about those? How to conjugate? Okay. So we're going to do the 3x3 practice quickly and then hopefully have time for some good textbook work. So, 食べる to eat, 食べる
To eat.
食べる
To eat.
to eat,
食べる
to eat,
食べる
to eat.
食べる
行く
To go.
行く
To go.
行く
To go.
to go
行く
to go
行く
to go
行く
飲む
To drink.
飲む
To drink.
飲む
To drink.
to drink
飲む
drink
飲む
to drink
飲む
見る
To see.
見る
To see.
見る
To see.
見るsorry to see
見る
to watch
見る
to look at
見る
やる
To do.
やる
To do.
やる
To do.
to do
やる
to perform
やる
to do
やる
聞く
To ask.
聞く
To ask.
聞く
To ask.
to ask
聞く
ask
聞く
to ask
聞く
乗る
To ride.
乗る
To ride.
乗る
To
to ride
ride. 乗る
to board
乗る
to ride
乗る
出かける
To go out.
出かける
To go out.
出かける
To go out.
to go out
出かける
go out
出かける
go out
出かける
泳ぐ
Swim.
泳ぐ
To swim.
泳ぐ
To swim.
to swim
泳ぐ
to swim
泳ぐ
to swim
泳ぐ
something nobody did this weekend 天気
Weather.
天気
Weather.
天気
Weather.
weather
天気
weather
天気
weather
天気
男の人
Man.
男の人
Man.
男の人
Man.
man
男の人
man
男の人
man
男の人
今日
Today.
今日
Today.
今日
Today.
today
今日
today
今日
today
今日
山
Mountain.
山
Mountain.
山
Mountain.
mountain
山
mountain
山
mountain
山
川
River.
川
River.
川
River.
river
川
river
川
river
川
女の人
Woman.
女の人
Woman.
女の人
Woman.
woman
女の人
woman
女の人
woman
女の人
田中さん
Mr. Tanaka.
田中さん
Mr. Tanaka.
田中さん
Mrs. Tanaka.
Mrs. Tanaka
Tanaka-san.
Miss Tanaka
Tanaka-san.
Mr. Tanaka
田中さん
山田さん
Mr. Yamada.
Yamada-san,
Miss Yamada.
Yamada-san,
Mrs. Yamada.
Mrs. Yamada,
Yamada-san.
Miss Yamada,
Yamada-san.
Mr. Yamada.
Yamada-san.
今、
Now.
今、
Now.
今、
Now.
now,
今。
now,
今。
now.
今。
私、
はい。
私、
はい。
私、
はい。
I,
私。
me,
私。
myself.
私。
はい。一緒に、
Together.
一緒に、
Together.
一緒に、
Together.
together,
一緒に。
together,
一緒に。
together.
一緒に。
とても、
Very.
とても、
Very.
とても、
Very.
very,
とても。
very,
とても。
very.
とても。
バス、
Bus.
バス、
Bus.
バス、
Bus.
バス、
Bus.
バス、
Bus.
バス、
Bus.
バス。
バス。
部屋、
Room.
部屋、
Room.
部屋、
Room.
room,
Hair.
room,
Hair.
room.
Hair.
休み、
Vacation.
休み、
Vacation.
休み。
Vacation.
vacation,
休み。
break,
休み。
absence.
休み。
My,
Sheets.
my,
Sheets.
my.
Sheets.
Sheets,
My.
sheets,
My.
sheets.
My.
Remember, it's not bed sheets, it's sheets of paper or sheets of other flat things. Yeah. Umi,
Sea.
umi,
Sea.
umi.
Sea.
Ocean,
Umi.
sea,
Umi.
sea.
Umi.
Kippu,
Ticket.
yeah,
At what point would, I'm gonna stop.
okay. Kippu,
Okay.
kippu.
Ticket.
Ticket,
Kipu.
ticket,
Kipu.
ticket.
Kipu.
Shukurai,
Homework.
shukurai,
Homework.
shukurai.
Homework.
Homework,
Shukurai.
homework,
Shukurai.
homework.
Shukurai.
Testo,
Test.
testo,
Test.
testo.
Test.
Test,
Testo.
test,
Testo.
test.
Testo.
Nomimono,
Drink.
nomimono,
Beverage.
nomimono.
Drink.
Drink,
Nomimono.
beverage,
Nomimono.
a drink.
Nomimono.
それから、
And then.
それから、
And then.
それから、
And then.
and then,
それから。
and then,
それから。
and then.
それから。
すごく、
Extremely.
すごく、
Extremely.
すごく。
Extremely.
extremely,
すごく。
extremely,
すごく。
extremely.
すごく。
どんな、
Which
What
kind?
kind?
どんな、
What kind?
どんな、
What kind?
which kind,
どんな。
what kind,
どんな。
what type.
どんな。
飛行機、
Airplane.
飛行機、
Airplane.
飛行機。
Airplane.
airplane,
飛行機。
airplane,
飛行機。
airplane.
飛行機。
僕、
I.
僕、
I.
僕。
I.
I,
僕。
I,
僕。
I.
僕。
旅行、
Travel.
旅行、
Travel.
旅行。
Travel.
travel,
旅行。
travel,
旅行。
trip.
旅行。
まで、
Until.
まで、
Until.
まで。
Until.
until,
まで。
until,
まで。
to.
まで。
切って、切って、
Stamps.
切って。
Stamps.
stamps,
切って。
stamps,
切って。
stamps.
切って。
サーフィン、
Surfing.
サーフィン、
Surfing.
サーフィン、
Surfing.
サーフィン、
Surfing.
サーフィン、
Surfing.
サーフィン。
Surfing.
食べ物、
Food.
食べ物、
Food.
食べ物。
Food.
food,
食べ物。
food,
食べ物。
food.
食べ物。
天気、
Weather.
天気、
Weather.
天気。
Weather.
weather,
天気。
weather,
天気。
weather.
天気。
はがき、
Postcard.
はがき、
Postcard.
はがき。
Postcard.
postcard,
はがき。
postcard,
はがき。
postcard.
はがき。
大丈夫、
Okay.
大丈夫、
Okay.
大丈夫。
Okay.
okay,
大丈夫。
all right,
大丈夫。
don't worry.
大丈夫。
誕生日、
Birthday.
誕生日、
Birthday.
誕生日、
Birthday.
birthday,
誕生日。
birthday,
誕生日。
birthday.
誕生日。
にぎやかな、
Bustling.
にぎやかな、
Bustling.
にぎやかな。
Bustling.
lively,
にぎやかな。
bustling,
にぎやかな。
lively.
にぎやかな。
大嫌いな、
Hate.
Hate.
大嫌いな、大嫌いな。
Hate.
hate,
大嫌いな。
abhor,
大嫌いな。
detest.
大嫌いな。
静かな、
Quiet.
静かな、
Peaceful.
静かな。
Quiet.
quiet,
静かな。
peaceful,
静かな。
quiet.
静かな。
きれいな、
Pretty.
きれいな、
Clean.
きれいな。
Beautiful.
beautiful,
きれいな。
pretty,
きれいな。
clean.
きれいな。
怖い、
Scary.
怖い、
Scary.
怖い。
Scary.
scary,
怖い。
scary,
怖い。
scary.
怖い。
楽しい、
Fun.
楽しい、
Fun.
楽しい。
Fun.
fun, fun,
楽しい
fun,
楽しい
fun.
楽しい
Atsui,
hot
atsui,
hot
atsui.
hot
Hot,
熱い
hot,
熱い
hot.
熱い
Chisai,
small
chisai,
small
chisai.
small
Small,
小さい
small,
小さい
small.
小さい
Oki,
big
oki,
big
oki.
big
Big,
大きい
large,
大きい
big.
大きい
Tsumaranai,
boring
tsumaranai,
boring
tsumaranai.
boring
Boring,
つまらない
boring,
つまらない
boring.
つまらない
Omoshiroi,
interesting
omoshiroi,
interesting
omoshiroi.
interesting
Interesting,
面白い
interesting,
面白い
interesting.
面白い
Atarashi,
new
atarashi,
new
atarashi.
new
New,
新しい
new,
新しい
new.
新しい
Genkina,
Healthy.
genkina,
Energetic.
genkina.
Energetic.
Energetic,
元気な
healthy,
元気な
energetic.
元気な
Himana,
Free.
free, himana,
Not busy.
himana.
Not busy.
Not busy,
暇な
to have free time,
暇な
to feel free.
暇な
In the sense of having time, not in the sense of freedom. Daisuki, daisukina, to love. Hi, daisukina,
love
daisukina.
love
To love,
大好きな
to love.
大好きな
It's my favorite.
大好きな
Okay, skina,
to like
skina,
to like
skina.
to like
To like,
好きな
to like,
好きな
to like.
好きな
Genkina,
healthy
genkina,
energetic
genkina.
healthy
Healthy,
元気な
energetic,
元気な
energetic.
元気な
Kiraina,
dislike
kiraina,
dislike
kiraina.
dislike
Dislike,
嫌いな
hate,
嫌いな
hate.
嫌いな
Furui,
old
furui,
old
furui.
old
Old,
古い
old,
古い
old.
古い
Yasashi,
kind
yasashi,
gentle
yasashi.
easy to do
Kind,
優しい
gentle,
優しい
easy to do.
優しい
Samui,
cold
samui,
cold
samui. Cold weather,
寒い
cold,
寒い
it's cold.
寒い
Yasui, yasui,
cheap
yasui.
cheap
Cheap,
安い
inexpensive.
安い
Cheap.
安い
Muzukashi,
difficult
muzukashi,
difficult
muzukashi.
difficult
Difficult,
難しい
difficult,
難しい
difficult.
難しい
Kakkoi,
cool
cool. Kakkoi,
cool looking
kakkoi.
cool
Good looking,
かっこいい
cool,
かっこいい
good looking.
かっこいい
Isogashi, isogashi,
Busy.
busy. Isogashi,
busy
busy,
忙しい
busy,
忙しい
busy.
忙しい
はい、いいですね。質問がありますか? Any questions? Okay. Is this helping you guys? Do you feel like it's helping you get the vocabulary down more thoroughly? So hopefully there'll be less stumbling over, oh gosh, what the heck was that, when we get to the textbook work. Okay, じゃあ So I believe we got finished with E last time, but I don't think we did F. Is that correct?
so
I don't think
yeah
we
one
made
E
it to
I
E.
think that's what we did
Huh?
I don't think we
went up
made
to
it.
one E
Only one E?
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
didn't do the whole
finish?
thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's start from there then. I don't know why I had the next one marked.
I mean I think we finished E
I
but
thought.
Oh, yeah, we did, because you scolded us for not using demo.
Oh.
Yeah, I know we did
Yeah, yeah,
demo.
Oh, because we forgot to use demo most of the time.
So we
Okay.
did.
My bad.
Okay, who wants to start?
I will.
はい、じゃあ、ケンさん、example, F,
Make your own
example.
sentences on the topics using adjectives. Okay, so, テストは難しい、or, excuse me, 難しくないです。優しいです。
はい、いいですね。
So, it wasn't difficult, it was easy.
Or, yeah, it's actually in present tense, so it
Oh,
is not
It
difficult,
isn't
it is
difficult.
easy. Yeah. じゃあ、ジュリアンさん、1番。
私は 私は元気です。私は暇です。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ2番、南野さん。
私の町は賑やかです。And then, am I supposed to do another thing?
The opposite would be shizuka, so you could do a negative.
Oh, so. So you can use that for like a city too? for
Yeah,
quiet?
so 私の町は
Okay.
いいか
私の町は、静か、静かじゃないです。
はい、静かじゃないです。いいですね。はい。じゃあ、マリアンさん、3番いきますか？
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know what the phrase means?
I'm actually not even sure I'm on the right page.
Okay. 139ページ。That looks like you're on the right page now. Part F, number 3, top of the page.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
You want me to just read it, or?
Okay, start there, yeah.
Okay. 私の隣の人。
Okay, so first, do you know what the phrase means? 私の隣の人. What's that?
My
Person
neighbor.
next to me.
Next to
Yeah,
us.
my neighbor, in this case, the person next to me. 私の隣の人. So you don't really have one.
Right.
But you're supposed to just give a couple of examples of adjectives. So like if you're talking about Audrey, you could, if you can think of an example of an adjective that would apply to her. I know you don't know anybody in this group that well yet, but
I'm just behind.
okay. So, じゃあ、Audrey さん、やってみましょうか。3番。
私の隣の人は面白いです。
はい。
つまらなくないです。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ4番、デスニーさん。
私の部屋は私の部屋はきれいじゃないです。
Okay, きれいじゃないです。And maybe one more.
Do we have the opposite there?
No, we don't have dirty, unfortunately. Kitanai is the negative, the dirty one, but they didn't teach that.
Something
You
else
could
like
say
that.
kakkoyoku nai desu, not good looking. I don't know what else, or okiku nai desu, oki desu,
Okay, that's it,
size, you know.
yeah, and o 大きいそう大きくな
Yeah, okiku nai desu.
大きくないです。
Right, okay. Which, by the way, that'll work for now, but that's not really what Japanese people would use for describing a room. Hiroi for wide. It also is for like wide open spaces. So if you've got a really large room, hiroi desu. If you've got a small cramped room, semai desu. Semai is like narrow in the sense of small and cramped. Not for like thin, but just for narrow, like a road can be narrow, semi, like a little one-way street that, you know, has two-way traffic on it, that would be semi. And then, like a semi-heya would be a very small, cramped room. Like, yeah, typical in Japan would be like, you can sit on the bed to write at the desk because there's hardly any space between the desk and the bed.
So you can use like とてもすごく to modify adjective.
Yes, so すごく狭いです. It's really tiny. Or すごく大きいです. It's huge. Yeah. すごく綺麗です. It's extremely beautiful. Yeah. とても賑やかです. It's a very lively, happening place. You know, that kind of thing. Yes. はい、じゃあ、ケンさん、東京。
東京は、静かじゃないです。賑やかです。
はい、そうですね。じゃあ、6番。
ハワイは暑いです。
はい。
ハワイは怖いです。
怖いですか？
There's a volcano. It's
Oh,
scary.
okay.
Islands,
Yeah.
tidal waves.
Yeah, different people
Everything.
have different things that they think about. You know, I would have said kirei desu and, you know, samukunai desu.
Falling coconuts.
じゃあ falling coconuts though. There's a
じゃあ、
yeah.
part 2, part 2. So now we're getting into the past tense. So let's start by just sort of practicing past positive and past negative conjugations. So do you guys want to practice all 4 at once? Would that be more useful than breaking it apart, or is breaking it apart actually helpful for you guys?
I'm down with breaking it apart.
You like breaking it apart?
I'm
Okay.
very much behind.
Okay, so Brandon-san, A, can you read the examples for us?
高い、
はい、
高かったです。
はい、
元気な、元気でした。
はい、そうですね. So we're doing the affirmative past tense. So on my little diagram here, which one is that? Affirmative past. Bottom left. So, はい、つまらなかったです. This one. So you're aiming for that pattern. Drop the E, add katta. Okay. So Maria-san, can you try 1番安い using that pattern?
Yes, and we're doing
We're doing this pattern. So you're dropping the E and you're adding katta in its place.
Sorry. I don't understand that. Can you tell me we're doing past?
We're doing part A, okay, number 1. So you follow the pattern of dropping the final E on yasui, okay, and then you add katta instead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll come back for you later,
Yeah.
okay. Aji-san?
So just the positive, right? Or-
Yeah, we're just doing the positive for now, past
Yes,
affirmative.
yasukatta desu.
はい、じゃあ2番.
暑い、そう暑かったです。
はい、ケンさん.
I was thinking is is she okay? Like kind of a thing. I'm sorry. So where am I at?
3番.
Song. Okay. So Samui. So Samui. Just going off that, and we're doing the past tense positive, correct?
Right, the one I circled.
Okay. So Samukatta this.
はい、そうですね、寒かったです。はい、
面白かったです。
はい、面白かったです。はい、5番。
つまらない、つまらなでした。
No, つまらな。
つまらなかったです。
There you go, つまらなかったです。Okay, so 6番, we're up to 忙しい. So you drop the final E and add かったです.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Isogashi, and I drop the she,
No, you drop the
the
E
E.
and you add かったです.
Isogashi katta desu.
はい, that's exactly right. 忙しかったです. Was busy. じゃあ7番.
楽しかったです。
はい.
So yeah, いそ yokatta desu.
Hi, you got the irregular one. Yay. Yokatta desu. 9番、皆さん。Notice we're changing gears here.
Yep. So Shizukana and
Hi.
then Shizu. Oh gosh.
What do you drop? What do you add?
Yeah, we dropped the na.
Right.
I'm gonna
Look at the example. It gives it to you
Look.
right there.
Where and they, that's right, they were the same for whatever reason. I thought they were trying to finish, it was just deshita.
Yeah,
So-
just deshita.
Okay.
So,
Shizu kadeshita.
hi, shizuka deshita.
I never really used
Well, that's one reason I have you guys read them out loud, so that you can see how to apply it. Because they always give you an example of what it is they want you to do. And if it's changing in midstream like this, they give you examples of both ways. So pay attention to the examples and it'll help. Julian-san.
賑やかな、そう、賑やかでした。
はい、賑やかでした。Julian-san.
Kirei deshita.
はい。Okay. はい。12番。
Himana,
Yep.
Himadashita.
はい、そうですね。じゃあ B, you get to read the examples. 1, 2, 3.
安い、安くなかったです。
はい。
暇な、暇じゃなかったです。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ1番。
高い、高くなかったです。
はい。I know it sounds crazy, but that's the real thing. 高くなかったです。
高くなかったです。
はい。
楽しくなかったです。
はい。
優しい、いやいや、優しい。
はい
優しくなかったです。
はい、優しくなかったです。
し
いや、は
That's
い、
kinda weird
優しい、優しくなかったです。はい。4番。つまらない。
つまらなくなかったです。
はい、つまらなくなかったです。はい。じゃあ、大きい。So it's the same rule. You drop the E, and this time you add くなかったです。大きくなかったです。はい、大きくなかったです。And E is irregular.
よくなかったです。
はい、よくなかったですね。はい、じゃあ7番。
忙しい、忙しくなかったです。
はい、忙しくなかったです。はい、8番。
かっこいい、かっこよくなかったです。
Uh,
Or don't dash.
think about that one again. It's irregular.
Yeah, it's that's right. The yo and the
Yeah.
So かっこよくなかったです。
はい、そうですね。かっこよくなかっ
Sorry,
たです。
I was
That's
just
okay.
I was just like
That was great.
sitting here and just like drop the E. and
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
The sound effect was great, like that,
Yeah. はい、じゃあ、ジュリアンさん。So, changing gears.
にぎやかな、にぎやかく、にぎやかじゃなかったです。
はい、賑やかじゃなかったです。はい。10番、フランドンさん。
静かじゃなかったです。
はい。Okay. So, you see what to do?
Kireina.
きれい。
Kirei. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it.
It's a na adjective, so you're dropping the na and adding
Ja.
ja, na, katta
Kirei,
desu.
jana, okay.
Yep. Kirei,
Kirei,
ja.
jana, katta desu.
はい。kirei じゃなかったです。was not beautiful. はい。kirei じゃなかったです。はい。
元気な becomes 元気じゃなかったです。
はい。元気じゃなかったです。はい。I know it's a mouthful, but you're doing great with it. Okay. 質問がありますか? Any questions about those? Okay. So, does everybody feel like they have at least the idea of how to get there, even if they're not doing it smoothly every time? Do you have the concepts for how to get to all 4 forms for both E and na adjectives? Okay, because that's what we need to do next. Okay, so Robert wrote these notes down about his trip to Okinawa, and we're going to take his notes and turn them into Japanese sentences in the past tense. Okay? Because he finished his trip to Okinawa and he's back to his school in Tokyo or wherever he's supposed to be. Okay, and he's telling his friends about his trip in the past tense, right? So, Bethany-san, you get to read the example.
沖縄は暑かったです。
はい、いいですね。Okay, so Ken, he's telling about the food that it was not expensive.
So that would be, Okinawa no, tabemono
はい。
wa, yas, why was I going with easy? Yes, so, and in the past tense would be, past tense, past, so, yasui, so there's, yasui, not expensive, and it's not expensive, so yasui kunakatta desu.
No, Yasui is already
Oh, that's past tense.
inexpensive,
I was
so,
doing it in my head.
yeah.
So, yasui katta desu. Yasu, oh, you dropped the E, yasu katta desu.
はい、安かったです. Or if you wanted to do not expensive, what's expensive?
Takai.
Takai, so negative past tense.
高くなかったです。
Yeah, that would be the takakunakatta desu.
はい、高くなかったです。高くなかったです. Let's all practice saying that, just to say it. 高くなかったです. One more time. 高くなかったです. はい、高くなかったです. Yeah, those ones that are hard to pronounce like that, really recommend that you practice. Not just the conjugation, 高いです, 高くないです, 高かったです, 高くなかったです, but take each individual phrase and really practice pronouncing it until you can say it smoothly. Yeah, 高くなかったです is a mouthful until you get used to it. But once you get used to it, 高くなかったです. It's not that hard once you're used to it, right? But if you're not used to it, you're going to stumble over it every time it comes up until you practice it enough. So it's a good idea to just practice it a bunch of times. And, you know, after you've said it like 10 times in a row, it'll start to flow for you a lot better than without that. 高くなかったです. 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 Just keep going with it until you get it flowing. Okay? じゃあ、ジュニアンさん。
沖縄の食べ物は美味しかったです。
はい、美味しかったですね。じゃあ3番。
ホテルは大きくなかったです。
はい、大きくなかったです。Okay, the hotel was new. 沖縄のホテル。はい。ホテルは、yeah,
Okinawa.
no hotel, or you can just say hotel wa. You don't have to say the Okinawa no, because we already know we're talking about Okinawa, right? So you could leave that part out and just say hotel wa.
Is it atarashi?
Yeah. So just put that into past tense. Atarashi katta desu. はい、新しかったです。ホテルは新しかったです。It was not big, but it was new. 大きくなかったです。でも新しかったです。Right? It was not big, but it was new. はい。
レストランは静かじゃなかったです。
はい、いいですね。静かじゃなかったです。
海は綺麗でした。
はい、綺麗でしたね。はい、じゃあ7番、ケンさん。
Saafin wa interesting was just omoshiroi, so and we're going for omoshikatta desu.
面白
Omoshirokata desu.
はい、面白かったです。面白かったです。That's another one.
Which, can you combine, if you were gonna say like the food wasn't expensive and the sea was beautiful, would, is there something other than sorekara you would use?
If you want to put them both into the same sentence,
Yeah.
that's coming in lesson 6 or
Okay.
7.
Would have been there.
Yeah. So for now, we're learning how to link two separate sentences with sorekara
Yeah, yeah.
or demo. Demo for a contrast.
Mhm.
大きくなかったです。
Yeah, I remember we
Demo,
used in like
新しかったです。
lesson 4
Yeah.
for order, I think
Yeah,
for
but
ordering the
それから
food, but.
Yeah,
I
but
was-
それから for connection. So if you wanted to say two things that are both kind of positive,
Mhm.
like 綺麗でした。それ
You know,
か
very
ら
tall and beautiful
新し
or
かった
something
で
like
す。
that, or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also?
Yeah, also. それから is like also or in addition and then.
I don't know if you guys did that or not since I wasn't here. そして is it the same thing?
I don't think they introduced that in this chapter. It is similar.
Okay.
そして is more like and then
And then, okay.
and then this happened and then that happened. それから can be and then, but it can like a sequence, but it can also be in addition, like this is true and this is also true. Okay? So, そして we haven't really covered yet. Okay? Let's look at the part D. Okay, so instead of breaking up into groups, what we're gonna do is just see how many people we can get involved. So whose turn was it? Let's see. Safi wa omoshirokata desu. Who said Safi wa omoshirokata desu? Okay, so Julian-san to Brandon-san, you guys get to read the example A, B, A. Okay, so Julian, you get 2 lines there.
休みに沖縄に行きました。
そうですか。どうでしたか。
とっても暑かったです。
Hi. So you see what's happening here? So she made a statement of something she did in the past, right? He's asking, そうですか? Really? どうでしたか? How was it? You see how that fits? Okay, and then she comes back with a description. とても暑かったです. Okay, so Brandon-san, you're going to take the role of A this time with Saw Movie. And Marian-san is going to take the role of B, asking そうですか? どうでしたか? Okay, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Right. じゃあ、Brandon-sanどうぞ.
私は昨日映画を見ました。
そうですか。どうでしたか？
映画は怖かったです。
はい、いいですね。怖かったです. It was scary.
I don't like scary movies.
Me neither. Hi. Okay. Let's see. Do we have time? Okay, Marian-san, try to do stayed home. Okay. And then you're gonna ask her how it was. Okay.
Oh,
You can use yasumi ni during the break, or you can say kino or whatever past tense word you want to use.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, so use yasumi ni, because that's what's in the example. And then uchi ni imashita would be the sentence. So you see they're giving you in parentheses. So yasumi ni uchi ni imashita. Just repeat.
Okay, I'll repeat. Say it again.
Yasumi ni
Yasumi ni
uchi ni imashita.
uchi ni imashita.
そうですか。どうでしたか?
Right. So now an adjective to describe how it was staying home during the break. Was it fun? Was it boring? Was
Boring.
it quiet?
Boring.
Okay, so past tense of sumaranai. It's right there on the board.
Sumara nakatta desu.
Hi, there you go, sumaranakatta desu. So does everybody get how that one works? So go ahead and make up the rest of your dialogues, and next class hopefully we'll have time to actually read the rest of them out in class. And go ahead and work ahead into sections 3 and 4 to get comfortable with putting adjectives before nouns. You'll note takai toke desu ne. If it's an E adjective, you just leave the E adjective as is before the noun. If it's a na adjective, who knows what you do? If it's a na adjective that you're using to modify the noun directly like that, what do you do with the na adjective when it comes before the noun? Anybody? You use the na as the glue that holds the two together. Okay, so the na actually stays in, you don't drop it in that case. So if you're talking about, for example, a quiet library, shizuka na toshokan. Okay, a beautiful home, kirei na uchi. Okay, you get it?
Good.
Is it the same for the E's?
No, E adjectives just stay E adjectives. They don't drop anything, they don't add anything. The
So-
E stays the same. So
So you
basic,
just keep the E. so
just
it's-
keep the E, yeah,
Okay.
just keep everything, yeah. So, omoshiroi eiga, takai toke, like that, okay?
And that doesn't need a change even if you're talking in like past tense or?
Like, if it was an expensive watch, takai toke deshita, because the noun is the part that's connecting to the verb now, so it conjugates the des the way it does whenever it follows a noun, which is different from what happens when it's the adjective that's conjugating. You see what I'm saying? So the adjective coming before a noun doesn't conjugate, it just attaches to the noun. And then if you're ending with des, then the des conjugates according to whatever's closest to it, which in this case would be the noun. Make sense?
It conjugates according to the noun, not the tense, or?
So
Well,
like
like
if you're
if-
saying,
The tense conjugates based on the fact that the noun is what's closest to it. So it's gonna be des, or janai des, or deshita, or janakatta des, because that connects to nouns,
Like-
right? So,
Okay.
like
Does that make
saying
sense?
that's an expensive watch versus the watch is expensive.
yeah, so it's just two different structures allowing you to say your description of things in two different ways, right? Okay, so go on to work on sections 3 and 4, and we'll see how far we get on Thursday.
You've done these sessions 3 and 4 right, too? Or is that tonight's homework? Oh, speaking of that,
Well-
is the campus document for homework waiting out for anybody else? Like, is it all?
The schedule?
Yeah, mine doesn't show that I'm supposed to even touch the workbook until like this Thursday for homework, it's weird. That's all.
Okay, go ahead and work on whatever you're
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
to
I mean,
work on. Go-
it follows the
my
same
s-
process as
My
before.
schedule is always a sort of tentative, I don't know how far we're gonna get kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll see me making notes on here of how far we actually got.
Okay,
But, yeah, so today in this group, we got further than my morning class got. So if the homework is saying to go ahead with stuff that we just did in class and you've already done those, if you
Just
haven't
keep
written them
going on.
out yet, go ahead and write them out still. But, whatever we get up to in class, my hope is that you'll go on to whatever the next section is for homework, so that when we get to those in class the next period, you're ready for it.
I will be ready by next week.
Okay.
I tried, for whatever reason, getting a full-time job on top of a full-time school.
Wow.
It didn't work out, and then we had a crisis over the weekend, so studying didn't happen. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, so
Okay.
no job for me, no money. Are you gonna be